In this video, we're going over the new monthly budget for August. Yes, we got a new month. Say it with me now. Yes, we got a new month. If you don't know, I love a new month. Why do I love a new month? It's because it's a clean, fresh start. Okay, it's a new plate, a new chapter. It's almost like opening a new book. Really, it's a new chapter in the same book because we're still in 2025. Like, let's not take it too far. But that's what we're going to be doing for this video. So when I do my monthly budget videos, there's a few things I do. First things up, I like to go over the calendar. We need to know what we got planned for this month, okay? And also when we getting paid, that's important. Know when you're getting paid. Put it on your calendar. Second thing I like to do is put out our goals. We like to put on paper, my husband and myself, the goals that we have for this month. Now, most of them we share with you all, but there are some that we keep near and dear to the chest because, sometimes you got to let it cook. You got to let it roast. Let the roast, okay? And then the final thing I do is go over the actual budget, how much my husband and I are expecting to bring in, as well as how much my husband and I are expected to push out when it comes to bills, expenses, debt, all the things. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So if you do not know, your girl, yep, that's me. Okay, that's a Raven moment. Anyways, I do weekly blog posts every Sunday on pepperbymo.com. So if you're interested in any blog posts about ideas, savings, debt payments, sinking funds, all the things pertaining to financial freedom, make sure you go ahead and check that out at pepperbymo.com. But if you're like, I need the specific topics, I got you too. There are specific topics with the link below. So make sure you check that out. But if you're on your financial freedom journey and you're like, girl, I like watching videos about sinking funds, debt, savings, the hard times, the good times, all the things, go ahead and join the community and click that subscribe button and stay tuned. Now, if you do not know, this right here is a binder. You're like, duh, Mo, we know it's a binder. But this binder is my budget planner. I love saying that just because I want you to know that you can budget plan in anything. I'm doing it in a binder because I like it. But you can do it in a piece of paper. You can do it on a receipt. Just keep up with it. But anywhere, on a house, on a train, in a car, all the things, right? I say this to say there is literally no excuse why you're not budgeting. Come on, friend, do it with me. I'm a budget and you're going to budget with me. Here we are. Now, 2025 bingo. We don't got to talk about this, okay? It's a little rough right now. Now, let's move along to August. Like I told you guys, there's a few things I like to do. The calendar is definitely one of them. We just want to know what days fall on what day of the week. We want to know, when are we getting our money? Like, are you guys not excited to get paid? Because I be waiting on my check, okay? So that's what we're going to go ahead and get to now. I probably don't use the calendar as much as I should, but I do try to go back and look at it and see when my husband and I are getting paid. We get paid at the same time. About approximately, I get paid on a Thursday, he gets paid on a Friday, but you get the gist, right? So we're going to go ahead and take this binder, aka budget planner, move her to the side, and we just want to make sure this is even so we can check everything. Okay, so I ended up filling in all the numbers and the whole calendar. One, because my microphone went out, and two, we're on a new day, but here we are. So the first is on Friday. The last day of the month is on the 30th, which is Saturday. My husband and I, we get paid 3 times, okay? We get paid bi-weekly, and it just happens to be because the first is on a Friday, that's going to be a payday for us. So payday on the 1st, payday on the 15th, payday on the 29th. I also filled in 2 events, which are birthdays. One, my dad's birthday is on the 9th. Is that the 9th? Yes. And then 2, my aunt's birthday is on the 14th. This really shouldn't affect our income too much. I know this sounds horrible, but my dad and aunt usually don't want anything. My aunt usually sends out an Amazon link or basically saying, hey, these are the things I wish list, what I want. She hasn't. So I'm not really expecting anything from there. And my dad's just one of those people, well, look, I bought everything for myself. He, as soon as he wants it, he buys it. So it's kind of hard to get him a gift. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into our goals. So these goals, again, it's not just for me, it's also for my husband. Just like to have something, a why, if you will, right? Something that drives our financial discipline. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and do a column for my husband and then a column for myself. So let me put O, he's O, and I am O. Okay, you're gonna see the list of things and you're gonna think, dang girl, why is it the same things? I joke with my husband, he wants to be like me when he grows up. But basically we kind of sort of have the same goals in different wording. So that's what we're gonna do here. So for my husband, if you didn't know, he is studying for a certification. So the certification he's taking, he has to apply for it. So that's what his goal is to apply for the exam cert and then also get approved. So that's what we're gonna put. Apply for exam cert and get approved. Okay, so that's the goal of his. We're hoping and wishing and praying. So he has to get approved before he can even sign up for the actual exam. Like, and that's I don't know, different certifications have different requirements. I'm in tech. I don't know too many that have that requirement, but again, this is not my exam. So we're wishing well for that. And then for me, I'm just going to one and one it. I have 2 programs that's training through my job that I have been offered to take. I'm just hoping that my boss or my boss's boss actually allows me to go. So that's what I want to do. Not only do I want to be approved for it like today, but I also want to start because they both start in August. And that's kind of a big ask, but it's for leadership and on-job training. But they're not here. So start job training. Okay, programs, and then I'm gonna say start job training programs. The S, and I'm gonna put in parentheses both. So they're not exactly the same, but they're both job related. So we got our job thing going. Next thing we're gonna do is our body. So my husband said he wanted to work on his physical health, and that's basically kind of what I put, but a little different. Physical health. My husband wants to gain weight, but because I'm not putting that, you guys. He said he needs to gain. Love that for him. I'm not doing it. I want to work out 3 times a week. I'm kind of struggling with time. I feel like I keep saying this. I just feel like that's life lately for me, juggling, trying to figure out what gets more time. I realize can't give everything 100% of me all the time. So I'm just really trying to juggle, but I really, really, really want to put 3 times a week workout. I was working out in the morning. Morning workouts are not my friend, but they can work if I go to bed on time. So that's what I'm struggling with that. Now my husband, he has a different problem. He wants to gain weight or muscle or whatever guys do. Okay, so the next one, and I just want to put out there, I put all the goals down for myself first. That's why I said he wants to be like me when he grows up, but I kid. So I put socialize with people, and I'm just gonna put in parentheses friends. So I've been doing like meetup, meeting different people, organizations, groups of people, because I am new to the state. And so my husband was like, you know what? Same. I want to socialize as well, but his is still kind of same life we're living, balance, right? He wants to balance life. So that's what we're putting. He might do meet up with people. He has interests that are not as mine. He likes to play pool, so you can go meet somebody and play pool together. I don't know, because I'm not playing pool, guys. But these are our main goals. Now, we do have financial goals. Obviously, like when it comes to our house fund, we try to give money, every paycheck, to our house fund. But those are things that we are usually more attainable. So I'm not going to put it on, our goal sheet now, but it's very much so a goal the house fund. We also have a sinking fund situation. Maybe I should write it down just so we can check it off. You know, they say it does something for I don't know, just like your mental health, to be able to check off things on your list. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's do that. Let's just go ahead and put money for the sake of checking things off. Okay, so we get paid 3 times, right? So the goal usually is $1,000 toward that house fund every time we get paid. Or if we don't do it, we still give it 2. So we usually get paid bi-weekly. So still at least something that equals up to 2,000. So that's what we're gonna put here. We get paid 3 times. So house fund is plus $3,000. Okay. Okay, so another goal is we want to give more to our sinking funds. So we want to give more to our sinking funds because holiday season is right around the corner. Okay, so we want to travel, and I'm just going to put in parentheses $2,000 plus. That's the goal. Because sometimes we do budget things out. Who we are today is not who we're going to be at the end of this month, the end of August. So try to give ourselves some leeway. But again, if we can do it, we'll check it off. But if not, that's okay too. So that's what we're going to put for money. And those are our goals. Now let's go ahead and get into the monthly budget. I'm going to go ahead and write August. It's crazy because time goes by so fast. Time waits for no one. Okay. But I love this clean paper, this clean sheet. It's like a new chance. And it really is. So every time, even if you messed up last month, this month, it is what it is. You do it better next time. That's just how I view it. Like, you know, dang, we suck. We went over on our food. Let's go get them next month. Let's go get them next month. Okay. Anyways, so if you do not know and you're new here, we like to do zero-based budgeting. So basically, we're just saying, hey, every dollar has a job. You got to work for us. We working for you, right? The job, right? We get money, but then you're going to have to turn around and work for us and do something for us. You can't just be sitting in our little account getting 0.00001%. Just that's not going to fly, okay? And if you're going to sit in an account, you got to be a high yield savings account. You're like, girl, that's a lot. It is, but you got to do what you got to do. So we like to have a starting balance number. And sometimes we do have a number that's greater than 0. But most times we try to keep it at 0 because we zero-based budgeted. So that's what we're going to put down here is 0. Now we're working in the budget category. So basically we're saying, hey, this is what we're expecting to bring in. And we may bring in more. I would say less, but I like to budget on the side of precaution. So we like to do lower numbers than we actually have. So if we're going to budget something and we're going to be off, we try to be off on the higher side. Like maybe our numbers are higher, not lower. Even though closing out July, I think one of our numbers are going to be a little lower, but that's irrelevant. Okay, we're staying on focus here. So we're saying we're starting off with $0. All right, and so now we're going to go to put both of our full times. So O's full time, and then Mo's time. Okay. So we're saying there are 3 checks, right? So just worst case scenario, usually my husband get about $1,650. So we're gonna say $1,600, and then we're gonna times that by 3. So that's projecting $4,800. Put that right here. Okay, now when it comes to my check, I usually make a little over, I think about $3,050 per paycheck. So we're just gonna put $3,000. We're gonna times her by 3, and we're gonna get $9,000. Okay, so now we have 9,000 plus 4,800, $13,800. Wow, that's a lot of money. That's a 3 paycheck month for you. So, and I say this like right on cue every time, but I am so grateful. My husband's so grateful. Grateful to God. Grateful to have the jobs, the education, the experience, all the things that we got. Very, very much so grateful. Okay, so we have $13,800. So first thing we start off with is our fixed expenses. If you don't know, these are like our bills. Fixed expenses mean they usually won't change, but We do put electricity went into the fixed expenses. Now, these fixed expenses for the month of August are going to be way higher. There's two reasons. One, our electricity bill has been ridiculous. There is like some type of rumor. I haven't really done any research about it too much. That basically Maryland, Pennsylvania, and some other states got energy companies got these deals with these fossil fuel somethings because our electricity bill is higher, but we're also getting messages saying, hey, good job for using less energy because most time we're just at work. You know what I mean? So our bill is well over $100 higher. Sucks. So that's going to be, we're going to budget that for the month of August due to the fact really we do August is for the next month, but we're just going to budget that in this monthly budget here because that's life lately, right? So we're going to do over $200 when it comes to our electricity. Another reason why our budget for our bills is going to be extremely high is because my husband's student loans, now they're going to start accruing interest. He has Advantage, one. Two, he was a part of the Save Plan. However, the Save Plan is now null and void, and so interest is going to start accruing. So we're going to have interest accruing on that. We don't know what his actual due date is going to be, or if he is going to actually owe something. Moral of the story is we're just going to put a number in here. It might be higher, it might be lower. God forbid it's higher, but we're going to owe more bills. So let's get into the fixed expenses. All right. Okay. First things first, we have rent. This is a constant. Our rent is $15.45. Another thing we have is water, sewage. Now this does come about within our rent, and we just estimate a number. We're usually over. Okay, it's usually about $70. So this is like water, sewage, trash, things like that. But it's okay if we're over because all of our bill money usually goes to our bill account. So we have a little overage in our bill account, but that is just our buffer for things like when our electricity is higher than we thought it would be, because remember, we're always guesstimating here. Okay. So now we also have our internet, $50, and then we have our phone bill, that's $180. So that bill is between me, my husband, and my mom. It is my mom's bill, but we pay it. So then we have, I said subs, we have subscriptions, and this is $22. It's only a few things that we have, and that's our Hulu, which we got through Black Friday, so it's like 99 cents. Every now and then it's $1.09 because they say taxes. Then we also have Apple Music, and then we have a whole bunch of Apple storage crap between both phones. So that is $22. Now we have my student loans. My bill is $197. Okay, and then now we're also going to have my husband's student loans. So we're just projecting $250. Again, God forbid it's higher than this. God forbid it's even this. Because my husband's student loans, his interest shouldn't be $200 more than $250 a month anyway. But we don't want it to just, gain. The goal is to pay down our student loans. So here we are. But that's okay. We'll figure it out and we'll do what we got to do. So another thing we have is car insurance. This bill is going to end up going up. Also, this saddens my heart. We're going to put $180. So we have the company that we have, they have like the little monitoring app on your phone. And I guess they say y'all been driving crazy. And it's probably true. I don't think I can argue with it. But hey, people in Maryland drive crazy. So you just gotta meet crazy with crazy sometimes. I'm just being honest. I'm not telling you to do it, but Okay, so then we also have our life insurance. This is my husband and I's life insurance. Then we also have a gym membership between the both of us. And lately I have not been going. I got to do better just because time. And I always choose sleep over gym. I'm being honest. All right. So for electricity, we're putting down $250. I really hope it's not that bad. But for July, what we owe in August, which is what we saved for in July, I hope that makes some type of sense. It's like $220. So, you know what I mean? Because when you know, you know. Okay, so I think these are all the bills. We got our rent, water, sewage, phone, internet, electricity. Yep, this is everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this up together. We got $15.45 when it comes to rent, plus $105, plus $50, plus $180, plus $22, plus $197, plus $250, plus 180. Okay, yeah. Plus 108.04 plus 70 plus 250 again. So we have $2,957.04. Again, this isn't usually this high, but I don't know. Just the times. So 2,957.04. Okay. So we're going to take this number. We're going to subtract the 1380. Really, we'll just do 13. I said 1380. $13,800, and we'll subtract the $2,957.04. Okay, so now we have $10,842.96. Again, very much so grateful for what we have. $10,842.96. You know, you guys know I write big. So we like to go from fixed expenses to variable expenses, which is going to be higher because we do have 3 paychecks. So when it comes to variable, let's get into it. Okay, so variable, we have food, we have gas for my husband. So we're going to say, oh, gas. And then we got mo gas. That's crazy. And then oh, fun and mo fun. Just because for us, it makes sense to categorize fun, put it in our budget. Because, listen, we're going to try to spend the money anyway. So we might as well do this the easy way instead of the hard way. So I'm being a little ambitious here, guys. Usually every month we'll do like $250 and $250 per paycheck and do $500, right? So there's 5 weeks ish, maybe. Am I right? So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not really 5 weeks because can't count Friday as a 5 week. But the goal here is $100 per week. They're like, dang, girl. Because we start going back to Aldi, so our bills for groceries should go down a little bit. So I'm being ambitious. I'm not gonna lie, being ambitious. But if we fall short, I have like a fail-safe plan. So here we are. So we're trying to do $500 for the whole month. So when it comes to gas, we usually do $30 per check. So we get paid 3 times. So we're gonna do $90. Now that's something we really can't control too much. I mean, we go to Costco to get our gas, but listen, we still need the gas. We still gotta go to work. We still gotta go places. So that's $90 for him and $90 for me. And then when it comes to fun, we give ourselves $50 a paycheck. So 50 and 50 is 100, and another 50 is 150 per person. So we're gonna do 150 and another 150. So we got 500 plus 90 plus 90 plus 150 plus 150. So we have a total of $980. I don't know why I always try to do an accent when I got problems. Okay. So what we're going to do is take that remaining number, the $10,842.96, and we're going to subtract $980. So that's going to be $9,862.96. All right. $9,862.96. Look at that in the lines and everything. Okay, so we went from fixed expenses to variable expenses. Now we're going to make our way to savings. So I feel like most of the money is going to go over here in savings because we got a lot of goals. You know what I mean? We got a lot of goals. Okay, so first things up, we got to do our IRAs. We have not been the best stewards of our IRAs. But we've been given something, and something is better than nothing. So I give us credit where credit is due. Okay. So my husband's IRA, my IRA, another account is our house account, which is a big ticket item for us. And this is to somebody asked in the comments on Instagram, like, hey, what is the purpose of the house account? Is that for a down deposit? Yes. It's to save, I guess, the 20%, but even the goal is 50,000, but even 50,000, what is that? 20% of a $250,000 house, 10%, 20%, whatever. The point is, we probably would need even more, but we want to at least get us started. There's nothing wrong with getting us started. And I'm going to put another thing right here. I'm going to put buffer. Okay, so we got his IRA, my IRA, house account, sinking funds, and I put an asterisk because now we have a new little account, not a new account, but we're going to put a buffer here. And the reason why is because we like the zero-based budget, but in our budget that we actually did, my husband and I, we left a little bit of money there to buffer. And this is how we're going to do a little catch-all just in case we ended up being over when it comes to our food. All right. So when it comes to our array, again, we have 3 paychecks that we get this month. We're going to do $200 per paycheck. So that's 2, 4, 6. That's $600 per person. Okay. 600 for him and then 600 for me. Now, again, house, the goal is 1,000 per check. Even if it doesn't actually come out per check, what we're going to do is shoot for $3,000. Now, really fast, I know August, the last paycheck is the very last day in the month. So that means we're going to end up having to go over a little bit for the next month when it comes to bills. But these bills are preparing for that next month. So we should be covered because once we get these paychecks, we're already living in the month of August. I feel like I struggle to explain that. I do get people that argue with me about that in the comments, and I understand I'm not explaining it very well. But when August happens and we're getting paid this money, the numbers are already coming out. So all August bills came from our July budget. Okay, so what we're preparing for in August is already for September. I say that to say, yes, we're going to get paid on the last day of the month, but we're going to be covered for the month of August. So some people are like, oh, you got to save an extra amount of numbers for the next month's bills. And that is what this is for, the next month's bills. I feel like that should make sense. Okay. All right. So now we have sinking funds. So my husband and I, we are giving graciously to our sinking fund account. I got to say, so there's a couple things coming up, and that's holidays, right? We got Christmas, we got Thanksgiving, and our people don't live in Maryland, so we gotta travel. 1, 2, we gotta get gifts. 3, I've been talking about this gun license and gun classes, and it's just so much more expensive here than it is in Maryland than it was in actual Louisiana. So we're gonna do all of that. We're doing all the things. So all we gotta do, sinking fund is just a preparing account, right? It's just a savings account preparing for an event that's gonna happen. So we're putting $2,500. That's the goal. $2,500 into our sinking funds. And then when it comes to our buffer, the goal is $162.96, very specific. $162.96, $162.96. Okay, so let's add all of this up. So we got 600 plus 600 plus 3,000 plus 2,500, 2,500, and then plus $162.96. Okay, so that's $6,862.96. All right, $6,862.96. Now we're taking this from $9,862.96. You can tell the difference here. $9,862.96 is going to be $3,000. That's the difference. Okay, so you guys already know what we're doing when it comes to our debt. This is our last stop. Okay, stop. Cut them out. I don't even know the words. Whoa. Anyways, so we're going to do money because my husband's my husband's student loans are going to be gaining interest. We're going to make sure we evenly put money towards his loan and my loan. We talked about it. That's what we're going to do for the month of August. We got to see what the numbers look like. Because my husband's student loans are lower than mine, his numbers are going to gain interest, but it's not going to be as high as mine. But we're still going to be, because fair is fair. Here we are. Okay, so for O loan, we're going to do $1,500. And then for my loan, we're going to also do $1,500. I'm eager to see if we actually do what we say we're going to do at the end of this month. Okay. So remaining would be $0 because we have a buffer. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. And I'm going to do the buffer in orange. Okay, so we're going to do orange buffer. I just think it's important because we go over, we go under. Well, under, that's not realistic. But if we go over or do, something like that. And the reason why I said under is not realistic is because if you go under, you're not going to use the buffer. But if we have the buffer still and we go under, maybe we'll put it more towards debt or more towards our house account. So based on whatever goals we have. new yellow, and this is going to be food. Yellow is for cash. So we're going to do food. We don't do our gas and cash because Costco does not take cash. But what we do is we do our fun money and cash. So that way it's just a little easier for us to figure out what's left. You know what I mean? What's left over. And not only that, we do try, believe it or not, to still put money in our $1 jar that we say we're saving for our actual house fund at the end of the year to put towards. So where are we? We have $13,800 expected to come in for the month of August. We have just about $3,000 of it going to bills. And then we also have just about $1,000. So all of our bills and expenses really are $4,000 if we just round up just a tidbit. So that's a pretty penny, but because we get paid 3 times, it's not doing too shabby. But also a good note that I, tell my friends when we're talking about money is I would like for one paycheck to be able to pay everything. And that's something that we have conquered. Okay. And we live in a little rougher place because, the rent, life's, but we chose different things. It's different things we value for the sake of our money and our time and things like that. So that's about $4,000, giving a lot of money over $6,000 to savings and about $3,000 towards our debt. So you can see where our goals are. This aligns, okay, when it comes to house fund, $3,000 plus, and then, or we're saying plus the $3,000, and then give more to sinking funds, $2,000 plus. So again, this is our budget. We only will know once the end of the month of August actually comes, what we actually brought in, and we do a closeout. And did we put the money where we say we were going to put the money? So this is my August budget. I hope you guys budget out your monthly income for August, just so you can assess what's going to come in and make plans for what's going to go out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.